soft cell and bed sitter. Now, we've got a couple of the guys out of Teardrop Explodes here who are just off the jet. David and Gary, welcome to Sounds. Welcome to Australia.
Hi.
This, of course, was done a couple of days before we go to air. You suffered a little bit on the plane, and in fact, Julian suffered fairly heavily, eh?
Yeah, he's not feeling too well at all. He's going to get doctor out. I think.
How many hours have you actually been travelling to get to Australia?
36 hours. We just got here about an hour ago.
Yeah.
That's a non-stop. You
stopped
stop
in
over,
San
but I mean,
Francisco for
you're
4 hours.
awake all the way.
Honolulu for 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
The rest of the time on the jumbo jet.
Well, there's nothing as bad as that Honolulu thing where you've got to change luggage and all that rubbish that goes on.
San Francisco was the worst.
Standing on your feet, yeah.
We
We
didn't
got
have
locked-
any,
we
we
got
didn't have
locked
any
in a room.
visas, so we got locked up in a locker room.
Oh, did you?
4 hours, yeah.
No visas? How
We
did that
couldn't
come
go
about?
anywhere without...
But they're still getting them, because we're going to America after this, so
Right.
they're getting the visas together for them, but we haven't got them. And normally they have an in-transit lounge at these airports,
Yeah.
but they didn't have one, so they locked us up in a locker room downstairs.
What was the locker room like? It wasn't like a jail or something.
Just a little small room.
Small little room where
We
people...
couldn't go anywhere.
All the staff used to go down and change the clothes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Julian will be okay for the Australian tour. He's
Yeah.
just obviously worn out.
Yeah.
Good, that's
I
good
hope.
to hear. Teardrop Explodes, where did the name come from? The Teardrop Explodes.
Well, Julian found it in a magazine.
Marvel Comics, you know. Silver Surfer.
He tends to be into all that area, doesn't he?
He was then.
Yeah, he was then, yeah. I don't
he's-
think he doesn't read much now, those comics, but that's where he found it, in
Right.
Silver Surfer.
Uh-huh.
DC Comics.
Now, in Liverpool, England, which is where you base yourselves, correct? There tends now to be a movement again, like there was in the 60s, probably not as strong at this stage, but it could grow that way. Are there many bands around of your calibre this
Well,
stage?
There's the Bunnymen. They came from right at the same time we got going. The Bunnymen came.
Echo
out
and
of
the
Liverpool.
Bunnymen, that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Orchestra Manoeuvres. They came about the same time.
Right.
There's who else is there?
War. A band called War.
War?
War. W-A-H.
War.
Yeah, War.
Uh-huh.
They're about the next biggest band. They're the only bands that are really doing anything in England right now.
Is there any reason why Liverpool tends to spawn a lot of good musicians and a lot of good
Well,
bands?
there was a club about 2 or 3 years ago open called Eric's.
Yeah.
And it was a very good club. We used to get a lot of the new wave acts where most towns couldn't get them.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people who used to sort of meet each other there, and the policy there was to help start new local groups, and therefore the Bunnymen's first gig was there, our first gig was there.
And it did help.
Yeah, it spawned a lot of musicians. Orchestra Manoeuvres played there a lot at the start.
That's where we all met each other as
Yeah.
well.